What's up, guys? This week, we got another exciting hunt for you. We're going to send you to an urban hunt in St. Louis with Jeremy. The weather wasn't cooperating right, and as he'll talk about, the rain was coming in when it wasn't supposed to be, so he had a little bit of trouble with a little bit of the filming, but he got everything on tape. Uh, he'll talk a little bit more about that, but it was really far zoomed out, so in the editing, we had to zoom it in on the screen, which distorts it a little bit, but without that, it was kind of hard to see what was going on. So we zoomed it in so it's a little bit more visible, but it's a little bit blurrier than most of our videos are, but it's still a really exciting hunt. And with that said, we'll send you off to St. Louis and see what he was able to do.
Oh my God, you guys, that was insane. He's about to go down. He's about to go down. Where's he at? Where's he at? He just went down, guys. He just went down. He's down. He's down, guys. Oh my God, he's down. Oh my God, he's down, guys. Holy cow. Oh God, I zoomed way in, sorry. Oh my God, you guys. That was absolutely insane. He's down. Sorry for the footage, it's not good. But on my way out here this morning, one of my buddies texted me and he said that he found my camera arm where we were hunting yesterday. So I don't have my camera arm. I've literally got my camera arm base with one of those little squid arm tripods wrapped around and my camera mounted on that. And it was raining and I didn't have anything set up because I don't want my camera to get wet. And I happened to glance over and there was a small buck right here 10 yards behind me. And I looked up and this bigger dude's coming through the field. And I couldn't get anything set up. He was walking around looking at me, and he finally came over into this thick stuff to where I was able to get it set up. And then he paced back and forth. And he finally gave me a shot, and there was actually, I don't know if you can see it on the film or not, but there was actually a coyote coming up. There's a coyote 45 yards behind him. I got drawn back 3 times on the deer before I got a shot, and he's down. Oh, I love the Missouri rut, man. Dude, oh my God. I gotta call my buddy, see if he can come help me get this thing. Oh my God, that is insane, you guys. Come on, call. Oh my God, man, this is the craziest morning ever. Oh my God. Oh my God, this is insane. Come on, Anthony, pick up. I'll get back with you guys here in a bit. All right, I've calmed down a little bit, guys. Sorry, this has been an absolutely crazy hunt, man. Absolutely crazy. There was my buddy texted me this morning, told me that when I was on my way here, and he was on it to our other spot where we hunted yesterday, he said that he found my camera arm on the way in. So all I've got is my muddy camera arm base, and that's it. And I didn't have nothing set up but the tree stand with the camera arm base. And then it started raining, so I took my camera off of there because, well, I don't want to get wet. And I was just sitting here like, man, waiting for the rain to stop. And I happened to look, and then I don't know where he came from. I guess he come from the thick field and cut through this little wood patch, but 10 yards behind me, there's a small 8-pointer. And I was like, oh, dang. So I'm kind of watching him, and I look up coming down the field, and here's a really nice 10-pointer. And I'm like, oh no, I ain't got nothing set up, and I wasn't sure if he was shootable or not. And as he got closer and closer, yeah, he's outside his ears. He's a good deer. I'm more than happy with it. And he was out there standing, and I don't have nothing set up, and he was starting to follow that other buck off. So I grunted a couple times, and he stopped and looked, did a couple doe bleats, and looked around some more, and then he started walking. I did a snort wheeze, and he started licking his lips, started looking around real hard. And then he come around to the edge of this wood line where there's some honeysuckle. And I was able to reach down in my bag, get my camera out, and get it set up here on this rigged camera arm system that I've got, and get it rolling. And it wasn't that great because, well, I don't have the full functionality of everything. I was zooming by hand and without my remote, so it's not that great. But he started to come down this trail like he wanted to, and then he turned around. And he's coming back this way, and I got to full draw, and then he stopped and didn't give me a shot. And he turned back around, and then come back, and I point to full draw again. Didn't give me a shot, and then he went back, and I looked up, and there's a coyote coming straight down the field right towards where he's at. He looked over at the coyote, and I drew back at full draw, and he took like a half a step, it looked like, and I was able to sink it right through both lungs. And he ran out and then ran back, and he went down to this wood line. I thought that's where he was gonna die, inside the wood line. And I spun the camera around, was interviewing myself, and I watched him come back out, and I got it turned around just in time to watch him get him crash. So he's dead, he's down. Big Missouri rut buck. Oh man, that was insane. That was one of the coolest hunts ever. That was an intense hunt, man. That was absolutely insane. So, well, I'm waiting for my buddy to show up so we can get this deer recovered, get him out of here, and then probably gonna go home and get the girlfriend and bring her out. See if we can't get her on one. So Whitetail 365, guys. That's what it's about right there. That was absolutely insane. True grit. Doesn't get any realer, more intense than that right there. You know, I mean, I'm hunting in a small plot behind my friend's house, you know, in between neighborhoods, urban hunting. And it's just crazy. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy how this stuff works. So, well, we'll get back to you guys here in a bit. Hey guys, what's going on? Just wanted to do the post-hunt interview of my 11-point harvest. Camera spazzed out in the field. I don't know if it got wet or if it was just the amount of moisture in the air caused it to be stupid, but I didn't have any other cameras with me. You know, and that's just part of how it goes for us sometimes. About as real as it gets, you know. The hunt was crazy. I didn't have anything set up really. I had my camera arm base on the tree, but on the way in, my buddy called me and said that he found my camera arm where we were hunting the day before. So I didn't have my camera arm, and literally I was filming with that. It's one of them little octopus arm tripod mounts that I normally use for my GoPro, mounted on the base of my Muddy system. And I had that on the tree, and I had the little squid arm thing rigged up on it, but I didn't actually have my camera out because it was raining when it wasn't supposed to be, so I didn't have anything set up for rain. And I had a small buck come in right behind me, and I was watching him, and I looked up through the field, and then I seen the 11-pointer coming down, and the littler one kind of seen me moving around when I was trying to get the camera to get it set up, so he was eyeballing me, so I couldn't really move much. And then by that time, the 11-pointer was within 40 yards, so I had to be really careful about my movement. And he kind of picked up something, and he was watching me a little bit. And, you know, what you guys didn't get to see on film, unfortunately, was the interaction that him and I had with my calling. And he was wanting to fight that littler buck, and he was starting to, you know, swell up and challenge him, and the little buck was starting to walk away back towards where the bigger one had came from, and well, that wouldn't have worked because then I wouldn't have got a shot. So I got my grunt call out and gave him a couple grunts, and he was looking around, and I did a couple doe bleats, and he started looking some more, and he licked his nose some, and he was sniffing around, and then he started to head off to where that little buck was going to. So I gave him a snort wheeze, and that kind of got him fired up. So he started working around out in front of me for probably 5 minutes or so, and then he finally went around the point of that section of woods that I was in, and there was some honeysuckle right there, and he was completely blind to me. So I was able to bend down, get in my bag, get my camera out, and then get it mounted on that little system that I rigged up. Somehow miraculously worked. There was actually a coyote that came in down the same trail that the 11-pointer came down, and it all worked out to where that coyote was only about 30 to 35 yards away from the deer right before I shot him, and he actually is what I think gave me the opportunity. I don't know if the deer heard it or what, but he turned around pretty quick and then seen him and stopped dead in his tracks, and he stopped with just enough to where he left his vitals open for me to get a shot on him, and I made a great shot, and he didn't go but 100 to 125 yards or so, and then he fell in sight. One of the craziest hunts that I was ever on. I wish I would have been able to get everything on film for you guys, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. So this is kind of where we're at, and unfortunately what you get, but that's how we do it here. And this is the rack of what I harvested that day. He's a really nice deer. He scored 138. He's no absolute monster, but I am more than happy with him. He's an absolute great deer, and it was a really cool encounter with him. So, that's pretty much the story of how this one went. And he was a completely random deer that I never seen before. And, it was just a cool interaction. The Missouri Rut, it's always fun. It's always crazy. You never know what's going to happen. And it was just a cool hunt, absolutely unforgettable hunt. Both my hunts this year were just crazy, stare downs and intense moments. I mean, both hunts were probably 15 minutes of just pure intense, just me and the deer going back and forth, not being able to get a shot. And then when I do get a shot, I won't be able to draw because, well, they'd be able to see me. And Actually, on this particular deer, I drew back 3 different times before I was able to actually get a shot on him, because he would be coming down a trail, coming into one of my blind spots, and I would draw, and then for whatever reason he'd just stop right there in the blind spot, and he would never give me a shot. And he did that 2 different times. And then that 3rd time when he spun real quick, I drew, and then like I said, he stopped and seen that coyote. And from the film, you guys should be able to see, all I can see is from his front shoulder back. And I was able to put it right through both lungs, and you know, that was all she wrote. There was a killer blood trail, I mean, which I didn't need, but it was cool to still follow it and be able to see the damages that a broadhead can do to a deer. So, you know, unfortunately I didn't get the cool interview of actually holding the whole deer in the woods and everything, but you know, it is what it is. That's part of hunting, and that's part of how our team works. Is, you know, we don't do none of the fake stuff. We don't do a bunch of takes to get the pretty shots. You know, I mean, we're 100%. What you see is what you get. You know, so. But yeah, next time hopefully everything will pan out a little bit better for us, and we will be able to get you guys the full stuff. So, but for now, this is what you guys get, and appreciate you guys hanging out and supporting us. You know, so. Until next time, guys.
So that was a pretty crazy hunt. I know he talked a lot about the filming equipment that he was missing, but for anybody that self-films or films for somebody else, you'll know without that arm, it's pretty difficult to get anything, and the little octopus arm that he had has almost no movement or anything like that. So for him to be able to get anything usable, let alone some pretty good footage, was pretty incredible. So what he was talking about towards the end in his interview with the fake footage, for those who may not understand what he was saying, he wasn't able to get the post-hunt interview in the woods, you know, holding the head up, the big trophy, I guess show-off poses or whatever you want to call them. But the fake footage he was referring to would have been going back through with another camera after they had already found the deer and recreating that whole scene when it wouldn't be quite right. The emotions wouldn't all be there. It'd just be acting is what it'd be. And we're not about the acting. So for those who were a little bit confused about what he was talking about there, that's what he was referring to. I know in the video you can see how close he is to everything in the city, the highway, the houses. It's pretty incredible that he can get on deer like this routinely in the city like that. I know it's definitely not something that before I was introduced to him would have thought. I guess it's always possible, but it's not something that I would have thought of as far as somewhere and someone to be chasing after mature deer. But he definitely does it. This is the second one down for the year. It was a pretty crazy hunt, so we'll have more hunts coming to you here in the upcoming weeks, so stick with us. As always, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe on YouTube.